Welcome to my channel Grow Joyfully. In this third video in the 6-part series, I'll explain the process for stage 1 and I will demonstrate how to fill the Bokashi bin at one shot. The entire process of creating compost using Bokashi involves 2 stages. The first stage is also called as pre-composting. And this is where the fermentation of organic matter happens in a completely anaerobic environment using the beneficial organisms. The number of Bokashi bins a household requires depends upon the amount of kitchen waste that is generated or is accessible. A minimum of 2 Bokashi bins is required for a small household. This assumes that you are able to fill your Bokashi bin in 2 weeks. Let me take an example and elaborate. In weeks 1 and 2, you use the first bin to fill. In weeks 3 and 4, you keep this bin for resting, so it's no longer available. So simultaneously, you use your second bin for filling. At the end of week 4, leave the second bin for resting. Empty the contents of the first bin and proceed for stage 2. Now that the first bin is empty, it can be used for filling in weeks 5 and 6. And the cycle continues. If you have access to large amount of kitchen waste and you are able to fill your Bokashi bin every week, you require 3 bins. The scenarios explained here assumes that you will definitely do stage 2 processing promptly, exactly after 2 weeks of resting. I always suggest having a bin or 2 extra. Sometimes you may get large amount of kitchen waste and you may want to fill up. Or sometimes you may want to decide to delay stage 2. Maybe you're busy and you want to do stage 2 processing after 3 or even 4 weeks. An extra bin will come in handy so that filling the bin with kitchen waste continues without any break. It's mandatory to have Bokashi bran in stage 1 of Bokashi composting. It may be store-bought or homemade. In a different video, I will share how I prepare Bokashi bran at home. All the greens that we put in an aerobic composting bin can be put in Bokashi bin as well. And that includes vegetable and fruit peels, or overripe vegetable or fruit waste, eggshells, eggs, coffee grounds, tea grounds, dried flowers, etc. Stuff which we normally don't put in a traditional aerobic composting bin can also be placed in Bokashi bin. And that includes dairy products, solid ones like bread, pasta, cheese, pastries, etc. is fine. Putting solid cooked waste, which is not too oily, is also okay. We can also place non-vegetarian kitchen waste. I don't have too much experience on this, being a vegetarian, but I'm sharing what I have read. Some people have differing opinions with respect to bones. Some people don't put bones at all. Some people put small bones like chicken bones. Some do place large bones because once they are fermented in stage 1 and they are placed in soil, over a period of time they become soft, they lose their strength gradually, they become brittle, and people usually use them to pound the bones and make bone meal out of it. So when it comes to bones, just do what feels best for you. Explore, observe and decide. No liquid stuff is to be put in the Bokashi bin. So avoid pouring liquids like water, milk, fruit juice, water in soup, etc. In fact, in Indian context, we should not be pouring leftover sambar, rasam, curds, buttermilk, etc. Avoid putting any rotten food. Avoid putting any stuff, vegetables or fruits with black mold. Avoid putting any kind of rubbish like plastic, glass, paper, batteries, metal, etc. I will now demonstrate how to fill a Bokashi bin at one shot in stage 1 when you have access to large amount of kitchen waste. If you use a branded bin, please follow the instructions given by the vendor. Mine is a DIY bin. It has a spigot attached. I keep a small plate inverted at the bottom to provide an air gap for liquid to collect. I had some jaggery. This is acting as food for microbes. A bigger plate is kept with holes to allow just the liquid to flow down. I place a few sheets of newspaper all around, which ensures that no clogging of the spigot or the tap happens. I add a handful of Bokashi bran and we are set for layering. First, add a layer of kitchen waste for an inch, say 2 handfuls. Now, sprinkle a handful of bran all around. It need not form a solid layer, but the entire surface area of the kitchen waste must be laced with Bokashi bran. So please don't throw the bran inside or just stuff it at the edge or in the center. Spread uniformly as I am showing here. You may have to add more if you have non-vegetarian kitchen waste or cooked kitchen waste. After adding 2 inches of kitchen waste, press hard with your hands or with a tool. This emphasizes the contact between the foodstuff and the microbes. It removes airspace and pockets between food materials. It forces extra liquid to drain lower, and it helps to stuff more kitchen waste inside your bin. Here I have used vegetables and fruits discarded by a departmental store. I do cut them, but then I don't bother about cutting them into very tiny pieces as I would do in aerobic composting. Here I cut them into slightly bigger pieces. For example, a carrot can be cut into just 2 or 3 pieces. We continue the layering process. 1 inch of kitchen waste added at a time. Uniform sprinkling of Bokashi bran all over, and compressing or pressing hard after every 2 inches. When the bin is full, we add some more bran. We cover it with a plastic sheet to ensure anaerobic ambience. We close the bin and keep the bin in a cool, shaded place. Please ensure that you mark the date also. I usually write on the bin with an erasable marker pen. We have now completed filling the bin on the first day itself. The resting period starts now. The duration is minimum 2 weeks, and do not open the bin at all during this period. In my next video, I will explain how to fill a Bokashi bin gradually over a few weeks, and also the observations you will make as you fill the bin. I'll also talk about the Bokashi leachate and its uses. Thank you for watching my videos. Have a great day.